Hi everyone. My name's Toby. I've been watching a lot of videos about Beatles records recently on YouTube. Um, Primarily Andrew at Parlogram I've been very inspired by. And I thought, seeing as I've got a pretty interesting collection myself, maybe I should share it with you guys. The production values probably aren't going to be great, but I do think I've got some really interesting records for you guys to have a little look at. Generally speaking, they're UK presses, they're mostly mono. I got into collecting and buying and selling, but most importantly, collecting when about 4 years ago, I was very fortunate when I inherited a bunch of records which were Please Please Me, With the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale, and I think Rubber Soul, from a man called Alan Thompson, who was a huge Beatles fan himself, and who had also made radio programs for the BBC about the Beatles, including a documentary which was The Beatles in Bangor, and I think, in fact, he had also even interviewed Paul McCartney on one or two occasions. So that's a pretty cool little story that is going to go along with a couple of these records, but that is what got me into them. And here we go. I'm just going to pause this. I'm going to set this camera up and I'm going to show you, I think, the first three or four of my collection. So I think I'm going to go chronologically through these. As you can see, of course, starting with the first album, Please Please Me. This is a pretty exciting one. I'll show you the sleeve first. Okay, so the sleeve, as you can see, is not in the best condition. It's okay. It's got a pretty nice, sharp spine on it. However, it's slightly battered along the top, and I have actually fixed it. It's a Ernest J. Day one, which I think makes it slightly more rare than its Garrett and Lofthouse counterparts. It is slightly damaged here. Like I say, the sleeve is a little bit naughty on this, but you know, it's a survivor. It's also coming away a little bit from the card just there, but quite clearly I'm very, very careful not to damage it anymore. And without further ado, here's the record. So it's in its original Emitex inner, which again isn't in the best condition. I have had the opportunity to switch this out with better ones, but I'm a bit of a purist, and so I like to keep it with the original one. And the really exciting bit is it is a crossover pressing. So as you can see here, the credits are generally Dick James on the label 1, which is in line with the extremely rare first pressing of these. But when I flip it over, the credits are Northern Songs. I have checked this out on Discogs. On Discogs, it's never actually been sold, one of these. I think I'm not going to harp on too much about the value of my records because I find it a bit tiresome. Because you can find that out yourself. But there's only two for sale on Discogs of these. One of them I think is a 750 quid or something, and the other one is 1200. But it's never actually been sold on Discogs. This is one of my very favourites. It's probably my favourite actually. It's a very nice weighty disc. as you can see, generally, as far as condition goes, it's pretty nice. There are some light marks on it, and there's a little bit of a little bit of spindle wear here. Also, there's a name written across the label 1. However, it's in generally real nice shape, and it sounds absolutely amazing. Really deep, really warm mono sound on it. No skips or jumps. I'm not the sort of guy that has a valuable record and just takes it out and looks at it every now and then. I do listen to this on quite a with quite a lot. I listen to it quite a lot, and it is my pride and joy. This is one of the ones that I inherited from Mr. Alan Thompson, and it's really the one that got me started on collecting these records, and as such, it holds a very dear place in my heart. I will probably think of something else to say once I've wrapped this video, but at the moment my mind's gone slightly blank. But there you go, another little look at it. It is a beaut. It is a really rare one. I'm not sure, but I slightly guess that it might actually be rarer than the first pressings and the second pressings, what with it being a crossover. Presumably it was something of an erroneous pressing, and so I think it's a really rare one. And you'll also see that there's 2 pressing rings, one around the edge and one in the middle. So that's the big one. Well, one of the big ones. That's a UK crossover first stroke second mono press of Please Please Me. And feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. I don't pretend to be any particular expert, but I think that is exactly what that is. Okay, I'm already on the 7-minute mark, and I was thinking this is going to be an 8 or 9 minute video, so I'm not quite sure how many others I'm going to get to show you with this one. But here's number 2. It's a mono UK first press of With the Beatles. Sleeve once again, let's have a look. It's this one is a Garrett and Lofthouse one. It's in quite nice condition. It's a little bit discoloured around here, but again, it's got a nice sharp, forgive the angles, sharp spine. It's going to take me a while to get used to this. Let's have a look at the record. No Ematex inner on this. However, excitingly, once again, it's a very early pressing. It's got the misprint Gotta Hold On Me on track B3. It's also got the erroneous Jabet credit for title B7. Again, it's in really nice shape, this one. Not too many marks on this at all. Once again, oh, it's got a name on the label there. But once again, I do play this one quite a lot. I really love this one. Nice deep sound on the mono again. Once again, it's one of Alan Thompson's ones that I inherited from him. And it's also got the misprint on the back of the sleeve. You really got a hold on me, which was shortly thereafter changed to you really got a hold on me, as far as I'm aware. Okay, I think this is going to be the last one for this video. I have fairly recently picked this one up, and I did pick it up with the intention of selling it on because I think it's quite a valuable one, but I couldn't quite bring myself to part with it. It's the same as the mono one, except it's a stereo. Once again, it's an exceptionally early copy. It's got the misprint on, oh no, it hasn't got the misprint on the back, funnily enough, but it does have the misprint on label 2. You really got a hold on me. Also, it's got the Gilbert credit on money. As I've said, it's a stereo one, so it's a really rare one. I don't think they pressed too many of these stereo copies way back then. They were mostly mono, so it's a dead rare one. It's got a little address label on the on label 1. However, I don't mind that. I think it adds a little bit of character. I certainly wouldn't try to get it off. It's the matrix pressing is YEX 110-2 on side 1 and 111-2 on side 2. This one actually is in even better condition than the other two that I've just shown you. It's an absolute minter. Really beautiful. I don't actually like the sound of the stereo mix as much as I like the sound of the mono mix. However, one thing that is really cool, and probably the main reason I chose to keep it rather than turn a couple of quid on it, is that the hand claps are actually considerably louder on Rollover Beethoven. So that was the main reason why I decided to keep hold of it. We're coming up to 12 minutes now, which is vastly more than I wanted to talk on the first video. So I'm going to leave A Hard Day's Night for the next video. I hope you'll forgive my stuttering and stammering. I'm still getting used to this. This is my very first YouTube video. I would love to hear any comments that you've got below. If I am wrong on any of the details of these, then I'd be more than happy for you to tell me, because I don't pretend to be any particular expert. Thanks for listening. I'll be back with part 2, which presumably is going to include A Hard Day's Night and Beatles for Sale and Help. Okay, cheers guys. Thanks for looking. Bye.